Guys, what is going on? I hope you guys are well. Guys, smash the like button on this video, hit the subscribe button, share the video as always, like the video. Let's smash the like button on this video. Guys, I don't know if you guys have seen Canelo Alvarez and Kamaru Usman are going back and forth. Beef, Mexican beef. There's serious beef going on off here. I don't understand this. I don't understand this beef between Canelo and Kamaru Usman. I don't get it. I don't get what the purpose is. I don't get what the point is behind it. Canelo tells Kamaru Usman, "You would get hurt, my friend. You would get hurt." Because Kamaru Usman said, basically Canelo responded to his manager and saying, "Who the bleep is this?" And Kamaru Usman said, "Let's just stop before someone gets hurt." And Canelo responded, "Yeah, it won't be me." You know, like, so Canelo Alvarez firing shots at Canelo, and Kamaru Usman said, "We can get in the ring or we can do it in the octagon." You know, Canelo Alvarez ain't stupid enough to go in the octagon with Kamaru Usman. He would get battered. But Kamaru Usman should not be silly enough to get in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, because Canelo Alvarez would butcher him, you know. And it depends. If Canelo gets in the ring with, octagon with Kamaru Usman, he gets laid out. If Kamaru Usman gets in the ring with Canelo Alvarez, he gets laid out. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell. Do I want to see this fight? No, because it's dangerous. It's two different sports. I don't understand where the beef is coming from. How come now MMA fighters are beefing with boxers? That's like tennis players beefing with badminton players, you know, trying to, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's really bizarre. It's really bizarre for me. Canelo's bigger than that. I don't think Canelo should be looking to fight Kamaru Usman. I think it's a proper bad mismatch, and I think it's dangerous as well, because I think Canelo's not like Floyd. He can really crack, and someone like Usman could be laid out cold. So, you know, I'm not keen on watching that. To be brutally honest, I think it's a mismatch of the highest order. I don't think Canelo's keen, because Canelo's also said that he's about legacy, but I don't understand. Is it Kamaru Usman looking for a payday? You know, Canelo says to Kamaru Usman that you're looking for a payday, Saul payday Alvarez. So he's looking for a payday, you know what I mean? And Canelo's letting him know that you're looking for a payday. And Usman's like, Usman's not getting, we know Usman ain't getting those M's like Canelo. Canelo's making those M's. He's making those millions, man. You know, and we know that UFC fighters don't get those kind of dough, you know, and Usman isn't seeing that kind of money. You know, I don't even know if Usman is seeing a seven-figure paycheck, you know what I mean? Whereas Canelo Alvarez is seeing 8-figure paychecks, you know what I mean? And big, thick 8-figure paychecks. You know, we're talking about 40, 50 mil figure paychecks. So, you know, Canelo Alvarez, he's making that bread, you know what I mean? He's making that money, he's making it rain, Canelo is. So yeah, well, Kamaru Usman, on the other hand, you know, we don't know what's going off in the UFC. We know Dana's got control over the UFC, and apparently the rumors were apparently Francis Ngannou only got paid 600 grand for his last fight, which, if that's true, wow. You know, isn't he the heavyweight champion of the world, getting paid 600 grand? You know, Tyson Fury got paid 30 million in his last fight. So, you know, I think it just shows you the kind of difference in terms of pay, you know, between MMA and boxing is massive. So, you know, we know that Usman's not making that kind of money. Usman's not making that kind of money that Canelo Alvarez is. So, you know, he's looking for a payday, you know. But at the end of the day, for me, I don't think these type of fights or these type of, you know, cross matches should be entertained. I think it's dangerous. I think it's pointless. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, and I'm a big fan of Canelo. I don't think Canelo Alvarez would be entertaining some rubbish and dross. You know, something that there's, you know, what for? What, to see Canelo batter him? You know, and if Canelo steps in the octagon, which he never would, why? You know, why would he step in the octagon when he's making 40, 50 million to fight in a discipline that he's good at? Why is he going to step in an octagon and get battered by a guy where it's not his field? You know, what's the point? You know, so Canelo shouldn't entertain it going in octagon, which he wouldn't anyway, you know. And Usman shouldn't entertain going in the ring. But I look, I'm not against Usman going in the ring, because Usman would make a lot of money, you know. So Usman's not making that kind of money, so Usman wouldn't mind getting battered for a big payday, which he wouldn't get. Look, Conor McGregor did it. Conor McGregor never made the money that, you know, he made against Mayweather, you know, inside a ring. But, you know, it's okay. Like, what's he got to lose? Everyone knows that, you know, they're gonna lose. They ain't gonna beat the boxer in the boxing ring, are they? So but at least they're getting a big payday. So I think that's what it boils down to. It's a payday. It's a money fighting. That's why Canelo's telling him, you're looking for a payday. But Canelo shouldn't be fighting that. Canelo's got big fights and big names that he can fight in the sport of boxing. There's a lot of fights that I'd like to see Canelo involved in, and Kamaru Usman definitely isn't one of them. You know, Tyson Fury's talking about fighting Francis Ngannou. What for? What for? Rubbish for me. I don't really like. I'm not really about these exhibition and these. I'm not really that interested. It doesn't excite me as much. I like to see proper boxing, proper championship boxing. That's what excites me, when it's a lot on the line, legacies on the line, belts are on the line. That's what I like to see. I don't really like to see, you know, even like, for example, something like Khan Brook, for example, that got me excited, but I wasn't as excited because it was two guys that were past their prime, and it was two guys that were not champions, no relevance to division. I like fights where there's relevance, like, for example, okay, this guy wins his fight, he's gonna fight for a world title, or this guy's defending his world title. I like there to be some kind of narrative. There was no narrative there. There was nothing there. The winner weren't gonna go on. Look, Kell Brook won the fight. What's he going on to? Nothing really. You know, just money fights. Other fights where he's gonna be used as a sacrificial lamb for the you know, the money fight, or be used as a leg up basically. So I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of those type of fights. I like to see fights which have significance, which means something. So both fighters are gonna want to win. Like the Dillian Whyte and Tyson Fury fight meant a lot. It was for a WBC world title. Not just that. If Dillian Whyte had won, he would have got an extra 4.2 million. You know, if Tyson Fury had won, he would have got an extra 4.2 million. So the significance in terms of the fight was massive, because it wasn't just the fact that, you know, you would have become a champion if you're Dillian, and in Tyson Fury's case, there was also another 4 million to make. Do you know what I mean? So that for me, there was a lot on the line here. You know, there'd be a big payday. You know, Canelo would probably make a lot of money. Would he make more than what he's making now? I don't know. Would Kamaru Usman Canelo be a massive fight? Is Usman a really big name like that? I don't know. I haven't really checked his social media numbers out, which nowadays seems to be the measuring stick of how big a star somebody is. But I don't know. What was Kamaru Usman's last pay-per-view? Maybe you guys can tell me. I don't really follow the UFC like that. But yeah, I don't think Usman's that big a star, to be brutally honest with you. I don't know. Again, what do you guys know? I don't know. I don't know if Usman's. I only really heard of Kamaru Usman when he knocked out Jorge Masvidal. You know, when that was a brutal KO and it kind of went viral. But before that, I didn't know who Kamaru Usman was. If I'm gonna be brutally honest with you, I don't really watch UFC. I don't really know a lot of UFC fighters. You know, I know like Amanda Nunes, Conor McGregor, of course, Khabib Nurmagomedov. Yeah, that's about it really. There's probably some others like, you know, Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz and those guys. But a lot of those guys have links to boxing as well. So, you know, that's probably why. But yeah, this Ali Abdulaziz, his the manager of, you know, Kamaru Usman is going after Canelo, saying Canelo's a cherry picker. Canelo's fighting bums. You know, look, if Canelo was to fight Kamaru Usman, that is a cherry pick, my friend. That is a cherry pick of the highest order. If Canelo fights Kamaru Usman, that's a cherry pick. Not Canelo fighting Bivol, just because Bivol's got 5,000 followers. That don't make him a cherry pick. Because how many followers you have on Twitter or Instagram doesn't make you relevant on world level boxing. What makes you relevant is your skill set, your ability, your amateur pedigree, your pedigree as a professional fighter. That's what makes you relevant. Not well, how many followers you got. Since when did followers on social media determine how great somebody was? When did followers determine how great somebody was? Absolutely rubbish. So like some of you pointed out, if we were to go off followers, Jake Paul and Logan Paul are the greatest fighters ever then. because they're now, Jake Paul's a boxer now, effectively. He's officially a boxer. So that means, you know, Tommy Fury, that means he must be the best boxer in the UK. He probably has more followers than everyone. So apparently he must be much better than, you know, come on. You know, he was a guy from Love Island, right? You know, he's a reality star. That doesn't mean that, you know, he got followers. That means he's better than world champions and stuff. Get the hell out of here with that rubbish. Followers don't determine how good you are in anything. In any sport. There's many sportsmen that aren't that good. Look, for example, let's look at football. You know, I bet you there's footballers out there. David Beckham. David Beckham's probably got more followers than, you know, some great football players. Better than him. That don't mean that David Beckham's, you know, the greatest footballer of all time. You know, just because he's got a lot of followers. And that's nonsense. You know, your followers don't determine how good a footballer you are. Or how good a boxer you are, how good a cricketer you are, how good a rugby player you are, how good an American football player you are, you know, or how good a basketball player you are. You know, there's probably basketball players that are really good, right, but they don't have that many followers, or as many as another basketball player that's more marketable, more out there, done more adverts and stuff. You see, this all depends on some people are just more famous than others. They just have more appeal. They're better looking, or you know, they just appeal better, appeal more to fans in the world, and you know, they're more attractive commodities. But that don't make you better at your field. You know, so again, I think people sometimes need to pipe down. But sport isn't about how popular you are. Sport is about how good you are. You know, that's how we determine whether someone's good. Not how many followers they have. Come on, that's nonsense. If followers is going to determine, you know, whether someone's good, that's, you know, come on. You know, that's rubbish. Absolute rubbish. You know, and yeah, I think Kamaru Usman would have a rude awakening. I think any UFC fighter getting in the ring would have a rude awakening if they think they could compete with a top boxer, because I can assure you they can't. I can assure you they can't. No UFC fighter can compete with any boxer. Full stop. They get battered. They would get absolutely battered. Canelo would absolutely, like, telling you, Canelo would, if Canelo was to fight a UFC fighter, it'd be dangerous. I'd be worried for the UFC fighter's health, because Canelo is a brute. You know, simple as that. And Canelo getting in the ring with any UFC fighter, I think he shouldn't be allowed. First, I don't think he should be sanctioned. It would be dangerous. And likewise, I don't think any boxer should be allowed to go in the octagon. They don't have the skills, man. They don't have the skills to compete with the guys in the octagon. Remember, these are combat sports. These are combat sports, man. Imagine, like, if a guy gets ended up choked out, and, you know, things can happen, man. These are very dangerous sports. Like, people don't understand. I don't think people understand, like, why the hell are we getting, you know, boxers? Like, you know, didn't James Toney do it? You know, and he got taken out in quickly. You know, it's stupid, man. Like, they're gonna take you to the floor. They're not gonna allow you to use your boxing skills. They're gonna take you to the ground, and once they get you to the ground, that's it. It's game, set, and match. And in boxing, you take away a UFC fighter's legs, you take away a UFC fighter's elbows and stuff, he can't do nothing. They don't even look like, when they're standing in a boxing stance, they don't even look like. McGregor came from a boxing background. He could box a little bit. He looked horrible. Like, the way he was standing, he just didn't look like a boxer. The way he was throwing punches, he didn't look like a boxer. There was no power in his punches. There was no power there. The way he was throwing the punches, just, you weren't going to generate power. They're used to fighting in small gloves as well. These are boxing gloves. They're completely different. It's a completely different sport. That fight should have showed us all we need to know, that these are two completely different sports. These are not sports to be crossed over. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't mesh. It just doesn't make sense. You know, so yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of this crossover nonsense, because for me, they're two different sports, and they should be treated like that. They should be treated as two separate sports. That's how I think it should be treated. But Leave your thoughts, guys, in the comment section below. I'd love to know your opinion about Canelo and Kamaru Usman's manager going back and forth. What do you guys make of it? What do you guys make of the back and forth and the you know, the beef? I'd love to know your opinions. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.